Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, Wrestling with Books, where today I'm talking about a book that I really loved, that I've recently read, that I wanted to share with you. It is The Monster's Bones. The Monster's Bones. Let's get the subtitle here though. The Discovery of T-Rex and How It Shook Our World by David K. Randall. And if you're a dinosaur lover, you've got to add this one to your list right now. I do want to say that I am posting this video as part of the Bookmas in July celebration on this channel. I'll be posting a video every day on this channel through the month of July. It's fun. Come along, subscribe, but let's talk dinos first, okay? This book, so I always wondered like what it was like when you know, there was a time where we didn't know about dinosaurs, and then all of a sudden we do, and what it was like, you know, finding that. And really, this book does kind of get into, you know, the myths around dragons, of dragons and such, because people were discovering these bones and were creating their own answers. But he gets into the Gilded Age of the Bone Wars, which is when people were trying to find these fossils and museums were trying to own them and host them, because that's what would bring people to the museums. You could not see these bones any place else. So this book really details Barnum Brown, who he is the one who would dig and find the bones, and the other person, because this is all real that it covers, is Henry Fairfield Osborn, who was the one curating the museum. So Barnum Brown is born in Kansas, and he is not born into a world where, you know, digging for dinosaur bones exists. This is kind of something that he falls into, and you get into the whole, what the whole setting is in America about finding these bones and how it becomes almost in fashion and starts to exist and whatnot. He ends up connecting with Henry Fairfield Osborn, and he finds a dinosaur that isn't a T-Rex that is being prepared to go into the Museum of Natural History in New York, and this is when their partnership is born. And we learn about how Barnum Brown has a real gift for just enduring the environments and not giving up, because he doesn't just dig in Montana. He goes all around the world, and he'll stay in the jungles, and he'll kind of just endure any sort of environment. And this isn't a time where there aren't really, it starts to come up later on where people start to say, hey, you found this on land you don't own. But as he's starting, that's really not part of the issue, and it's more about discovering bones that previously have never been seen, did not exist, etc. So it's really exciting, but also you get back in time. It talks about the dinosaurs. Randall will take us to Patagonia, and when the climate, the location, the geography of the world, not the location, but the geography of the world was totally different, and where these dinosaurs were living then, where their bones ended up being found later, what makes it a good location to find the bones, etc. And you also learn a lot about Barnum Brown's resilience. So when I say his resilience, I mean the weather changes in these locations. That's part of what I guess helps preserve the bones, but he'll kind of stay a little later than everybody else, or maybe show up a little earlier. He won't be deterred by people coming, because people would kind of almost like dino grave rob. Like if they saw you dug at a good spot last year, they'll go there next and try to get the rest of your skeleton and whatnot. It was, you know, it's like the Wild West. The Wild West for dinosaurs. You also learn about the pressure of filling the museum with content. Unfortunately, Osborn has a lot of really false, negative, and inappropriate views that he was influencing into the museum, which just isn't cool. And it kind of makes you, obviously, you know, you're kind of just like rolling your eyes at him. However, the admirable parts of him, that's despicable, and I don't want, you know, I'm not getting into what his views are, but just know they're despicable. But he is a good, loyal friend to Barnum Brown, so that's mentioned a lot here as well. And Barnum Brown is somebody who, after the passing of his wife, maybe doesn't like staying put and is an adventurer, and that's why this job works so well for him. You also kind of get into the museum wars of them trying to get these skeletons, how they display them, how the T-Rex was initially displayed upright, and how they just kept learning more and more and more. Lots of different dinosaurs were mentioned, and I kind of wish I had like pictures throughout, because I had to keep just like stop going to like Google, because there's so many different dinosaurs with long names. And even I, who, you know, avidly listen to stuff about dinosaurs, I love the I Know Dino podcast. I'm always listening to that podcast, but even I didn't know, you know, a lot of these dinosaurs, and had to constantly go to my phone to look them up. So I would recommend you have something handy so you can get the visualization of these dinos that are being mentioned. It's just fun history and fun dino info all together in one. And I think this would make a compelling mini-series, movie, story, because it's just so fascinating. What a fascinating line of work. What an exciting time of life. I mean, the Museum of Natural History in New York is like such a big deal. Thinking about when that was new and when they were just trying to fill it, and how a museum in these times are pretty stagnant if they didn't get dino bones, and how everyone was rushing for it. And then you learn about how you get the bones, and you have, okay, imagine you're in this old era and you have to transport these bones from Montana to New York. So Barnum Brown would plaster the bones, and then he would have to go with them on a train and fill up train carts with dinosaur bones across country. It's just so incredible to learn about. And then they would have to be cleaned and prepped, which would be years long, and then finally be displayed in the museum. It goes into after the discovery, and more so the display of the T-Rex, how T-Rex then becomes just a huge, huge part of popular culture. Barnum even gets the opportunity to consult, I believe, even with King Kong, when they're doing the stop and go motion dinosaurs. He gets to talk about, you know, what's accurate, what isn't, and he really was just such a prominent figure in his field. So this is just, even though it feels like to me that I told you a lot, oh, it's just a taste. I've only given you a taste of what is in this book. So if you like dinosaurs, it's like, duh, read this. But if you like adventure, if you like period stuff, you know, then I would read this. It's such an exciting time, and there is adventure, there's discovery, there is sadness, there is all sorts of things that go through in this book. And I think Randall did just such a great job telling a story that I've been dying to know more about and to have be told. So if I were you, I would add this to your summer reading list, especially if you recently saw the new Jurassic Park. What'd you think of it? I liked it. I mean, I don't even need to say nothing beats the original. Nothing. We know nothing beats the original, but knowing it's not the original, this was fun. I found the new Jurassic Park fun, but we're talking about the book, all right? So if you're gonna add this book to your list, let me know, and don't forget that I will be back tomorrow with another review. Bye, guys.